The Golden Thread and the Star Jar. Kit stood by his bed, his suitcase gaping open like a hungry hippo. Inside went his favorite pajamas with the fuzzy stars and his trusty stuffed dragon, Spark. Kit's tummy felt like it was full of jumpy grasshoppers. "It's just one night," he whispered to Spark, trying to find his bravest voice. At the front door of the cottage, Kit held Mom's hand tight. The air at Grandma Luma's house smelled like cinnamon and old books. It was a good smell, but it wasn't the home smell. Mom knelt down to give him a long squeeze. "You're going on a grand adventure, Kit," she said. "I'll see you when the sun says hello again." Grandma Luma wore a sweater the color of a sunset and a smile that reached all the way to her ears. She gave Kit a hug that felt like being wrapped in a warm marshmallow. "I have a very important mission for a brave explorer," she said, her eyes twinkling behind her glasses. "But first, an explorer must have proper fuel." They spent the afternoon in the kitchen, dusting their noses with white flour. Kit rolled out the dough while Grandma Luma cut out stars and moons. The mission turned out to be baking comet cookies, and they were the crunchiest, sweetest cookies in the entire galaxy. For a while, the jumpy grasshoppers in Kit's tummy went for a nap. But then the golden sun began to dip behind the hills. The shadows in the hallway grew long and stretchy, like ink spilled on the floor. Kit sat by the big bay window, watching the last bit of pink light disappear. He missed the way his own hallway at home didn't stretch quite so far into the dark. Grandma Luma appeared in the doorway, carrying a small, glowing glass jar. Inside, a tiny, warm light flickered and danced. "This is a star jar," she whispered, handing it to him. "It's filled with captured dreams to keep the shadows busy while you sleep." Kit held the jar, and the soft light made the hallway feel friendly again. When it was time for bed, the guest room felt very big and very quiet. The quilt was thick and heavy, and the pillow was fluffier than the one at his house. Kit tucked Spark the dragon under his arm and pulled the blankets up to his nose. He felt like a tiny boat drifting in a very large, dark ocean. Grandma Luma sat on the edge of the bed. She didn't tell him not to be scared. Instead, she told him about the time she went to her own grandmother's house as a little girl and thought a coat on a hook was a giant shadow monster. They both giggled, and suddenly the room felt a little smaller